Okay, so if you're watching this video, it's because you wanted to see me a little bit more work through these problems, understanding fractional exponents. So I'm just going to kind of go through them really quickly, but we see that 8, the 8th root of 4 raised to the 8th power, that's equal to 4. And if I wasn't sure, I could use my calculator. And what I would do is this is the button here to take the nth root or the 8th root. I would do Control caret. Okay. Oh, it says press the menu. So I'm going to press menu here, and I'm going to add a calculator page, right? Oops, I pressed it twice. There we go. All right, so let's try that again. Control caret gives me the nth root. So the 8th root of 4, right? And if I were to raise that, I put that in parentheses, and then raise that to the 4th power, to the 8th power, we'd hit enter. And, we can see that that's equal to 4. So if I wasn't sure, I could put that in there. And let's try this. Let's look at it this way. We should know by now that the 8th root means that we're taking 4, raising it to the 1st power, and then taking the 8th root of it. So let's try doing that. If I put parentheses and I put 4 to the, and now here I'm going to use my fraction template, Control divide, and I said to the 1/8 power, and I raise that, so that all is going to go to the 8th power. So then I'm taking an exponent and raising it to an exponent, which means I'm repeatedly, applying this operation. In this case, 8 times. So I would go 8 times 1/8, which is equal to 4 to the 8/8, and that's 4 to the 1, which is going to be equal to 4 also. So I can put that 4. And then it says, it follows that the 8th root of 4, so that's this part right here, the 8th root of 4, is equal 4 to the blank, so that would be, this is equal to that. And this is just using logic. If they both give me 4, then this should be equal to 4 to the 1/8, so we're 1/8. Okay? Now, let's say I didn't know that, or I was struggling with these problems and I wasn't sure. I can use my computer algebra system to get this figured out. So let's see how that would look. So I'm going to use a solve command for A. So I could say solve and open my parentheses. And I'm just going to put this whole expression in here, right? That's what I'm going to put into my expression. So now I'm going to do Control, I get my nth root. So here's my 8th root of 4 equals 4 to the, so let me get that back up there. And this is Control divide. Control divide. Oh wait, I don't want to put it in as a fraction, sorry. I'm going to just call it to the A, 4 to the A, and I'm going to say solve it for A. Tell me what A would have to be equal to, right? Because that's what it's asking me. If this is true, right, then what would A have to be equal to make this true? So I'm putting it together and I'm saying solve for A such that A will make this a true statement. And I hit enter, right? And it tells me A is 1/8, okay? So you can do this using, your calculator as well. You should know, but I hope it's not too hard to see this. We're raising 11 to the 5th power and then taking the 6th root of it. So this is a fraction where the numerator is the power you're raising it to, and the denominator is the power you're taking the root of, right? So I should be able to say, if I find the value of A would be equal to 5/6, right? So I'm raising it to the 5th and taking the 6th root of it. So, I hope you don't really feel like you definitely have to use your, CAS calculator on this. You could do it if you were, really needing to. Here I am taking the 7th root, right, of 11. 7th root of 11, so that means I'm taking this to the 1/7, right? And I would check that out, okay? So there we go. That's how those are done.